Okay, so Chapter 8 is learning how to write the financial statements that you practice making on your worksheet. And just a reminder that the worksheet is not a permanent record, so you need to do a report using your worksheet. So what we're going to do in Chapter 8 is actually making these reports. The first report is called your financial statement, is the balance sheet. And just a reminder that a balance sheet summarizes the assets, the liabilities, and the capital. And if you look in your worksheet column, it'll say balance sheet, and everything's listed there for you. And you know what balance is, so it's just a matter of transferring the information. Then you have your income statement. And just a reminder that the income statement summarizes the revenue and the expenses and the net income or the net loss. And you also have that on your worksheet. So there's actually no accounting to do here, just report me. Okay, so the first 3 lines on the income statement will have the company name, that it's an income statement, and the month. And the reason why you see for month ended is because you only do an income statement at the end of the month. On the first line, you'll put your revenue, and you will indent all your sources of revenue. And for accounting 10, we only have sales. Then you can go to the next line, or if you want to leave a space, you can, and you're going to list your expenses. You list them all in alphabetical order. And then on the next line, you will report either your net income or your net loss. The form looks something like this. The completed form looks like this. The sales will go on the right-hand column. All of your expenses will go on the left-hand column. You'll see this red underline here to show that you're going to total up your expenses. And then you use your right-hand column to tally up everything. So when you added up all your expenses, you had a total of $1,632. So that is located on the right-hand side. Then you put another red line, or it doesn't actually be red, just a single line. I use red so you can see it a little bit better. Now you'll take your revenue, $3,199, and subtract your expenses, $1,632, which showed a net income of $1,567. You'll see that that total is on the last line here, in line with your net income. And then you'll use a double underline at the end on both columns to show that everything in both columns is complete. These numbers that you used to make your income statement just came right off of your worksheet. Okay, then our balance sheet. We've already done a balance sheet, so this is exactly the same. The only part that you have to remember is this capital section. And I'll tell you this really slowly so you can understand it. Your capital on your worksheet is the capital that you started with at the beginning of the month. What you need to do when you go to report it on your balance sheet at the end is find out what your new capital is. And I'll get a piece of paper here and see if I can get that for you. Okay, so new capital on the balance sheet. And remember that this balance sheet is at the end of the month. So you take your old capital, which is listed on your worksheet. You need to subtract any drawing that your company or that you as the owner have taken out of the company. And you need to add or subtract your net income or your net loss. So if you had a net income, you're going to add it in. If you had a net loss, you're going to subtract it because your capital is worth less than. And then that is the new number that you will put on here, Harry Walters Capital. So just remember that, because if you forget to do that, your debits, or your left side and your right side of your balance sheet will not equal out. And I guarantee you that that is why, because you used your old capital. Okay? This is just another way that some companies like to show what their capital is worth. We don't have to go into that detail. So, but I'm just going to show it to you so you might see something like that in the future. Okay, so I hope that helped. Chapter 8, making income statement and balance sheet is done.